Okay, let the record show the committee has reconvened in open session. Part of our discussion about this memorandum of understanding with the Central Wisconsin Convention and Visitors Bureau is that, I guess just to clarify, over the last couple months, the mayor and some of our neighboring communities have been engaging in some mediation activity between us and the CVB to discern whether or not it would be possible for us at some point to do business with them again as a tourism entity. This memorandum of understanding, if we authorize this tonight, would authorize the mayor to begin contract negotiations, but it is not a final contract yet. The final contract would certainly come back to us for approval. Mayor, did you want to walk through some of the fine points of your memorandum here?
Sure. So I guess the biggest part is that we really felt that it was important that we have new leadership at the CVB, and so that is the number one topic here. There are a couple of things that are important to notice about that. We want to be involved in the selection process. So as you know, they're moving ahead with recruiting and things like that when it comes to a new director there. Mm-hmm. We also want to make sure that we are holding annual meetings. That's pretty typical for a nonprofit, but we want to make sure that we're involving the entire council here so that we get an idea of what are we actually getting for our money. Is this doing what we want? We talked about strategic planning. You'll see that in the memorandum of understanding. Goals for the upcoming year, financial plans and the results of those. We want to make sure that our contracts are legit and we are not confused about what's going on here. And we want to make sure we recognize that they're not a public entity, but they are receiving public tax dollars. And so it was really important to both for me and also our municipal partners in the CVB that they operate in the manner of a quasi-governmental organization, in that, you know, they list their agendas, they list their minutes, board members are listed on their website. We want to be as transparent as possible while not, you know, taking away any of their competitive edge. So that was actually probably the thing that took the most discussion, because they were nervous about how it was characterized, that they want to be sure that everyone understands they're a nonprofit and not government, but we said, but you have to at least be transparent the way we are. So that was the big one. And I think that's everything.
Okay. And one topic that we had talked about that we felt was also important was that we be able to receive and review their financials. You know, I think that's important, part of transparency. You know, early on in our original agreement with them, we were getting reports from them and we were getting presentations from them about, you know, what their success was and what was being generated in terms of room tax, so we could see the impact. And over time, that stopped happening. And so, you know, I think that, you know, not only will leadership change help, but I think that putting some of these things into that contract so they know what we expect and that both sides are clear on their expectations is huge. So, committee members, anything else on this one? Deb, go ahead.
I guess I just want to cover that the financial plans and results may be something that they're generating, but it's one thing if they're doing it and versus if they're having an independent audit done, an annual audit as required. And that way there is their outside auditors that are looking at the books, and their fiduciary role is to make sure that things are being done properly and that there isn't any type of missing checks and balances type of thing. So to give to other municipalities, they may be working with the CVB to make sure what their operation is doing. So I really think we need to include that because we need that safeguards, that it is being done in an independent annual audit.
Sure. Mayor, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say I think it's probably appropriate, if that is what you want, that you make an amendment. You offer that as an amendment. And just so the public and everyone understands what we're voting on, or what you're voting on, is the memorandum of understanding. It's not the contract. This would allow me to start talking to them about a contract.
Sure. And then we would see that finished product or draft of that
Oh
product.
yeah, you'd be voting on that.
Draft on that product here and in the Room Tax So do we have a motion then to approve the memorandum of understanding with the amendment added by Alder Ryan, that we be able to receive and review audited financials for the organization. We have that motion from Ryan. Is there a second? Second by Watson. Further discussion? Seeing none, members in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None are opposed. That motion carries.
Thank you.
You bet, thank you. That is the last item on our agenda for this evening, so I'll take a motion to adjourn. Motion by Herbst. Is there a second? Second by Martins. Members in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. We'll stand adjourned, and then Common Council will start in this chamber at 6:30. Thanks, everyone.